Okay, sorry about that. I got interrupted. So this is lesson 2, part 2. I'm going to go through a couple of these with you just to make sure you know how to do it. I'll do all of the odds with you. The directions say look at each expression. If the order of operations is listed in the correct order, then write correct. If not, write the correct order of operations. So basically, you're going to take a look at the expression, and then it tells you what operations to do first. And then next, and if that's correct, you write correct. If not, actually put what it should be. So in this case, there's parentheses. So I know I'm going to need to add first, then multiply. And in this one, it says multiply, then add. So this is incorrect. I need to add, then multiply. All right, let's take a look at this one right here. 22 plus 8 divided by 10. So it says to add, then divide. But what do you know about division? It comes before addition. So this one is incorrect also. You have to divide, then add, okay? So then these are this is a word problem. It looks like you need to write an expression to show the total cost of the trip. So this is kind of building off what you did in the last lesson, writing the expression, and then you're gonna evaluate, which means you're solving for it. And then in these, you are finding the value. So you're just solving for these using your order of operations. And then these down here, you're gonna solve for each part and then put a greater than or less than or equal to sign for each one. So for example, I'm gonna solve for this. This one's easy. This is 18, which is less than 19. That one's pretty easy. But then you're gonna have to do a little bit more complicated work for those. And then you've got word problems down here, which is probably you have to write an expression, then evaluate it, then solve for it. And then it says which is greater, this expression or this one, and explain your reasoning. Well, if you look at it really quickly, you probably have a good idea of which one is greater. This one is just 18 plus 13, and this is 5 times the sum of 18 plus 13. So you're taking that sum and multiplying it by 5. So you probably have a good idea of which one's greater, but explain why, and so on. So the second part of this work is taking these cards and matching them up. So you're gonna have to do some paper pencil work to solve for these. So you have one row that says numerical expression to evaluate. So these are your numerical expressions, and these are your answers. So what I would do is just pick one. Pick one. I'm gonna do this one. And then you're probably gonna need to use some paper pencil to do that. So the expression is 19 plus 2 times 24 divided by 8 times 10. So what I did is I just flipped to the back of that book, and you can write them right in there. And then just write it across. And remember, you're gonna wanna bring down anything you're not solving for. So a lot of times, the mistakes kids will make is they'll find what to solve for. So this is what I need to solve for first. This is a multiplication sign. Okay, and what they'll do is, 2 times 24 is 48. And then they'll find what else they need to solve for. Well, now I need to solve for this, which is 80. Then I need to, at some point, add 90 to that. Well, that's not correct because you missed this division sign here. So it's really important that you bring everything down you're not solving for. So you put an equal sign underneath it, bring down this 19 plus, solve for this, 48, and then bring everything else down that you haven't solved for, okay, like that. Because then if you look at this expression, what do you solve for next? This part right here. Because you do multiplication or division first, depending on what comes first from left to right. So I'm gonna solve for this one first. So bring down the 19 plus, 48 divided by 8 equals 6 times 10. So equal sign, I'm solving for this first because it's a multiplication sign and it goes before the addition. So 19 plus 60 Now I can solve for that 19 plus, and so this is 79 is your final answer. And then, so there's my expression. I look at my answers. Oh, 79 is the first one, right there. And then you just flip them over to see if they match, and they do, which means you got it correct. All right, good luck.